What's the most awkward situation you've ever been in? My ex-wife later came out as a lesbian, and we divorced. Years later, I went to her wedding, where she married her now wife, which was one of my ex-girlfriends. Not awkward for me, but I was the reason for it. I served for a couple years, and worked multiple restaurants in that time frame. I worked at a Denny's, night shift, best and worst job for many reasons. Anyways, there was a regular that came in often, drunk as a skunk and nasty as hell. He tipped really well, but was so nasty to us girls. It never fazed me, so I served him often. He offered many times to pay for extra service and tried to get me to leave with him often. Of course I never did, but a couple months later, in working a new place, little more high end, I work mornings here, and this was a Sunday morning church rush. Guess who was sat in my section? My nasty regular from my last job with his entire family. His wife, kids, parents, the whole group, fresh out at church. The look on this man's face when I walked up and said hello. He was red as a fire truck, and I made it worse by asking if he remembered me. He left me a huge tip, probably because I didn't bring up his nasty mouth and grabby hands from his late drunken nights. Edit I was a waitress. That's what I meant by serving. I was looking at my mom's phone cause she wanted to show me some pictures from what she did that weekend. I swiped one too many times and came across one of her nudes. I felt my soul jolt out of my body seeing that shit. I was in some business college class and the professor was talking about something related to how celebrities brand themselves. Someone in the class brought up Shaun White as someone who had great celebrity branding, but isn't really talked about a lot. The professor was Indian and said he wasn't familiar with who that was. So my genius ass thought it would be perfect to say out loud, I'm talking about Mountain Dew's baby. As a joke reference to that newscast where Shaun White said he had been drinking all night but was underage, and the news person asked him what he meant, so he responded with, I'm talking about Mountain Dew's baby. And no one seemed to knew about that, or at least didn't think it was funny, as silence rang through the classroom and professor awkwardly moved on to a new topic. Truly the most awkward situation I've been in, and also the worst haunting moment of my life. So I've had the same 3 best friends since I was a kid. Friend 1 has an insanely hot older sister, like absolute smoke show, and me and friend 2 and 3 always thought she was super sexy. Somehow, friend 2 ends up sleeping with friend 1's said sister, and me and friend 3 know about it, but friend 1 does not. One night, we are all drunk in my basement, and friend 1 and friend 2 end up getting in a roasting war, not essentially an argument or anything, just friendly banter and insults. Friend 1, the one with the hot sister, is really digging into friend 2, the one who F the hot sister, and seems to be winning the roasting war. In a last-ditch effort to recover from shame, friend 2 proceeds to drunkenly say, yeah, well, I F'd your sister. After that, I'm pretty sure the tension in the room was so thick that it raised the temperature in the room by like 10 degrees. We are all still best friends BTW. Friend 1 is still a little mad though, but I can't blame him. My 79-year-old mother-in-law with Alzheimer's telling us that she had had sex the previous night with another resident of her nursing home. She had been celibate for 20 years up until then. We think. I don't know if this is really the most awkward, but it was definition awkward. I visited my BO dad's old church in Mississippi a few years ago and spoke to his old preacher for a moment. One important detail for this story is that my dad died when I was 7, so a pretty good while back. My grandma told the preacher who I was. This is Pomelo Sr.'s daughter, Pomelo. Preacher, OHH. Pomelo Sr. Tell him I said hi for me. Me, sure thing. My grandma's face was priceless. We agreed the preacher would feel really awkward when he remembered later that my dad was dead. When I was a kid, we were on holiday and decided to go to a church. While we were there I decided that I would be funny if I would slap my dad's ass with both hands. So I ran in full speed to maximize the impact of the slap. I ended up slapping a stranger who also happened to walk next to a woman with a stroller in his hands, which made me think it was my dad. It was even worse that my parents saw it as well. Edit, because people are asking what happened afterwards. My parents just laughed at me, which made the guy laugh as well, and then we just left the church I think. Backquote, so are you two dating? He said yes at the same time I said no, to which his friend told him backquote, I told you didn't ask clearly enough. Edit, I accidentally mixed up him saying yes and me saying no. I was at a funeral for one of my husband's relatives. On my way in, an employee of the funeral home asked me when I was due. I wasn't pregnant, but I'm fat, and was wearing an Empire waistcoat, so I wasn't offended. As I signed the goose book I corrected her, and tried to defuse the situation with a joke about burning that coat later. But she just wouldn't stop. She kept trying to apologize and explain herself, and I just wanted to run away. Then I was stuck in a small room with her for the next 2 hours. Great, you made it to the end. Now smash that like button and subscribe for even more videos like this one.